20 years from now, do you see your business essentially still being a storefront? Are you thinking about maybe possibly going into the online where you kind of selling jewelry through, let's say, holograms? I mean, where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Yeah, and there actually are holograms out now, that we're seeing at shows, and they are very cool. Where do we see ourselves 20 years from now? I hope and pray that brick and mortar stores are still going to always be around. There's just whether it's my business or another one, there's just nothing like it. Having that experience, getting interaction, getting to touch it, feel it, see it in person, I think nothing replaces it. Obviously I'm biased. So what has COVID done for us? What it's done for me is I got time with my 2 adult children that I would not have gotten because my daughter was in New York working already. My son would have graduated. So he had to finish his last couple of months at home. So we got some quality family time. But on top of that, after 27 years and probably 4 different websites, our first website, we were probably 19 years ago. It was more just, this is a flavor of what we are. Mm-hmm. But because so much of our merchandise, as you know, is one of a kind, so we don't always get in the same thing over and over and over again. It's a one-time thing. It's been hard for us to have items online because by the time we got them up, they could be sold and we might not get it again, or it might be 8 months before we get it again. So with this close down and getting my daughter out of New York and her experience with the designer she was working for was doing their website and social media, we actually finally got our website selling. So we got a little bit of merchandise on there. It's nothing that overall gives you a total immersive feel of what we do in the store. But in the short time that we've had it up, which has really been April, the amount of sales that we're already getting from it are fantastic. So we've always known we didn't have our head in the sand. We knew that we had to have it. We just didn't have the time to do it because being in the store, you're all in. When you're in the groove, you don't have time to stop and do these other things that could be beneficial. But with the close down, we had the time to get the merchandise up there, to take pictures, to get descriptions on, and to get them loaded up. So we've sort of chose items. Some of them are the one of a kinds, just because that's really what we built our business on, and we want people to see that range. But then we put some of the other more stock items up there that we can reorder. And again, the monthly sales, the weekly sales are just increasing and increasing. And I think, backed with social media to push people there, it's been fantastic. So in 20 years, I think we'll probably have more than the 2 locations as long as the right people are around, because I think that, if you listen to people now, even the big online people, they're realizing we need a brick and mortar. We need something that people can go into a store and touch, even if we have to lease a little counter there. So I hope that stays relevant, because I love the interaction of people. It's also, sitting behind a computer all day for me doesn't do it. For many people it does. For me it doesn't. We need that human interaction. But I think that the online presence will continue to grow because now we've gotten a taste for it, number one, and we've realized, okay, here are some steps. These are some ways that we can do it effectively. Obviously now, from when we did our first website all those years ago to what it costs to do a website now and how you can upkeep it yourself and change it immediately, everything's evolving and changing. So, I guess, getting back to what's the one thing you couldn't live without, I guess it will become that for me. Being able to have that online presence is going to be more and more important. And it's certainly a good complement to what we do. But ultimately, we want that human interaction, because people can order anything online and you really don't get the same experience. It doesn't mean as much to you when I can get you in the store and explain to you about the designer, the piece that you picked, and how special that person is. It takes it to another level. And I think it makes that piece more special to the end user too, because they remember that experience. And again, for us, jewelry it's an experience, but it's something special in your life that it's going to remind you of when you got it, why you got it, and what it was for. So we want to tie as much great memory into that piece and make it as special as possible with you. And, eventually you probably will be able to get that little pop-up if you click on the bracelet that I'm wearing by Jill Maher. It's a handmade piece that, a little video of Jill might pop up. Who knows? But right now, that face-to-face look, feel, touch is what we're all about.